paint a picture of England in the late 15th and early 16th century. The air is thick with intrigue as the Tudor dynasty sits securely on its throne. At the heart of this monarchy, the royal court of King Henry VIII holds sway, a whirlwind of power and influence. It's a place where politics and social hierarchy intertwine, setting the rhythm of the nation's pulse. In this era, marriage alliances are not just matters of the heart, but strategic moves on the chessboard of power. They can strengthen ties, secure alliances, and even shift the balance of control. It's a world where love is often a luxury that the nobility can ill afford. At the epicenter of this maelstrom is King Henry VIII, an imposing figure known for his voracious appetites and volatile temper. His court is the beating heart of this age, dictating the ebb and flow of England's fortunes. In this grand stage, our story begins with two young hearts, Anne Boleyn and Henry Percy. Scene script: enter Anne Boleyn, a charismatic young woman with a sharp mind, and Henry Percy, the heir of one of the richest and noblest families in England. In the bustling court of Tudor England, amidst the gilded halls and grand parties, their paths crossed. Anne Boleyn, a woman of charm and wit, was unlike any other. Her intelligence shone brighter than the jewels adorning the noble ladies. Then there was Henry Percy, a man of power and wealth, yet with a gentleness that belied his noble birth. Their meeting was as unexpected as it was inevitable. It happened in a moment, a glance that sparked an undeniable attraction. Their eyes met across a crowded room, and in that instant, they were drawn to each other like two stars in the vast cosmos, irresistibly pulled together by some unseen force. Their courtship was a secret dance, a series of stolen moments and hushed whispers. They exchanged love letters, each word a testament to their growing affection. Their love blossomed in the shadows, hidden from the prying eyes of the court. It was a love that was pure and passionate, yet fraught with the danger of discovery. Despite the challenges, they dreamed of a future together. They made plans to wed, to unite their lives in a bond stronger than any political alliance. It was a daring plan, one that defied the conventions of their time. After all, Anne was but a lady-in-waiting, far from the royal lineage, and Henry Percy, despite his wealth, was bound by the demands of his noble status. They knew the risks, the social and political implications of their union, yet they chose to defy the odds, to follow their hearts in a world that demanded obedience to duty over personal desires. For them, love was not just an emotion, but a rebellion, a defiance against the established norms. Little did they know, their love story was about to take a tragic turn. Their secret love affair didn't remain a secret for long. As the saying goes, walls have ears. This was especially true in the royal court of Tudor England, where secrets were as elusive as shadows at noon. The clandestine romance between Anne Boleyn and Henry Percy was no exception. It wasn't long before whispers of their affection reached the ears of one Cardinal Wolsey, the king's trusted advisor. Cardinal Wolsey was a man of great influence and cunning. He was a master at the game of court politics, always on the lookout for any shift in the balance of power. The potential union between Anne and Henry was a threat he couldn't ignore. You see, Henry Percy was the heir to the powerful Earl of Northumberland, and Anne Boleyn, though not of royal blood, was a prominent figure at court with her own set of influential connections. Their marriage could disrupt the delicate power dynamics at court and challenge the king's authority. In the intricate dance of court politics, Wolsey was the choreographer, ensuring every move aligned with the king's interests. So, he intervened. He convinced the king that the match was unsuitable, explaining the potential political fallout. King Henry, trusting in Wolsey's wisdom, agreed, and so, the wheels of royal intervention were set in motion. Their dreams of marriage were shattered. Wolsey, acting on King Henry's command, effectively ended their love story. It was a bitter blow for the young lovers. Their hopes of a life together, so vivid and tantalizingly close, were snuffed out as quickly as they had ignited. Henry Percy was wed to another, a match more politically advantageous. Anne, heartbroken yet resilient, was sent away from court. Their dreams shattered, both were forced to retreat. But this was not the end of Anne's story, nor her involvement in the tumultuous saga of Tudor England, but that, dear listeners, is a tale for another time. The aftermath of their forbidden love had far-reaching consequences. Anne Boleyn and Henry Percy, two souls entwined by love, were cruelly torn apart by the machinations of those around them. Anne was banished from court, sent away from the eyes of the man she loved. She was consigned to a life of obscurity, her dreams of love with Percy shattered. Meanwhile, Percy was forced into a loveless marriage. He was wedded to Mary Talbot, a union devoid of love and affection. It was a bitter pill to swallow for a man who had once tasted the sweetness of true love. His life became a mere shadow of what it once was, a hollow existence devoid of joy. Yet the wheel of fate spins in unpredictable ways. Anne eventually made her way back to court, not as the love of Percy, but as the Queen of England. She married King Henry VIII, the man who once stood as an obstacle to her love with Percy. It was a marriage that rocked the very foundations of the English Church, leading to the creation of the Church of England. Percy's life, on the other hand, was a stark contrast to Anne's. His marriage to Mary Talbot was fraught with conflict and ended in a bitter separation. He lived out the rest of his days in relative obscurity, his heart forever scarred by the loss of his true love. His eventual death was a quiet one, far removed from the grandeur of the court where he once walked as a young, hopeful man in love. The story of Anne Boleyn and Henry Percy is a poignant reminder of the power of love and the heavy toll it can exact. Their love was a beacon that shone bright, but it was also a flame that burnt too fiercely, consuming them both. Their tragic love story is a testament to the power of love and the cruelty of fate. Their love story left a deep imprint on the history of Tudor England. The clandestine romance of Anne Boleyn and Henry Percy, a love story that was as passionate as it was short-lived, had profound implications on the subsequent events in Tudor England. Their love story set off a chain reaction that would alter the course of English history. Let's begin with the rise of Anne Boleyn. After her relationship with Percy was forcibly ended, Anne found herself in the arms of another Henry, King Henry VIII. This relationship, filled with political intrigue and scandal, led to Anne's ascent to the throne. She would become the second wife of Henry VIII and the mother of one of England's most famous queens, Elizabeth I. Next, we turn to the fall of Cardinal Wolsey. As the orchestrator of the separation between Anne and Percy, Wolsey found himself in the disfavor of King Henry VIII. The king, enraged that Wolsey could not secure his divorce from Catherine of Aragon to marry Anne, dismissed him from his positions of power. Wolsey's downfall was a direct consequence of the love story that he had tried so hard to suppress. Finally, the love story of Anne and Percy played a significant role in the beginning of the English Reformation. King Henry VIII's desire to marry Anne led him to break with the Catholic Church and establish the Church of England, a monumental shift that would forever change the religious landscape of the country. Their love story has also left a lasting legacy in English literature. From Shakespeare's plays to Hilary Mantel's novels, the tale of Anne and Percy's forbidden love continues to inspire and captivate generations of readers. Their tragic love story, a tale of passion and power, continues to captivate us, reminding us of the human cost of political games in Tudor England.